This is Cunningham Outdoors.
Hey folks, today on Cunningham Outdoors, we're going to start walking you through the upcoming walleye season, which in about 3 weeks, the ice should be melted off the river and the banks will be low so we can kind of get in and start working on doing the walleye run. Where here in Wisconsin, where we live, you're allowed 1 walleye a day at 15 inches. And so we're going to kind of walk you through some of the gear that we're using for that. One of the things I use is it's a 6-foot rod and it's all one piece. And the reason I want to use a one piece is I can feel this jig hit the bottom better by just using a one piece rod instead of 2 pieces together. I can really feel it hit the bottom better. And I use 2 different sizes of jigs, and that depends on how deep the water is. When we've got high water, I go with a 1/4 ounce jig. And I like using the pink jig head with a chartreuse tail. I don't put any live bait on it. So I'm just working the jig by using the pink chartreuse and a chartreuse tail. And then when the water kind of gets a little lower, and I usually kind of use that by where the water is on my hip. If it comes up, it goes down below my hips. Then I go to an 8-ounce jig because otherwise I'll get stuck in a lot of stuff in the river using the 1/4 ounce. So 1/4 ounce for higher water and 1/8 ounce for lower water is what I use. And again, I like using the pink with a chartreuse tail is what I use. I don't put a live minnow on. I basically just sit there and I jig back and forth, back and forth. Do I lose jigs? Yeah, you use a few, but you know, at 25 cents a piece, sometimes you can buy these in packs of 25 to 100, so very low cost. And the reel that I'm using here, it's a Pflueger reel. One thing I like about the style that the Pfluegers have out there compared to Ryobi or Daiwa, whatever, when you cast and you clip that bail, it stays right there. It doesn't have that half turn kickback. And what a lot of people hate, especially younger fishermen, that half turn kickback on a lot of those other reels, that's when you get a lot of the spool, the line backs up on it and stuff, and you get all this extra tangle and you have this extra little bit of string if you're not watching that. If you use a reel where it kicks back a lot, that half turn after you cast, if you're used to watching that, your line won't get tangled up. But with the Pflueger, they make that when you cast a reel and you're done clipping that bail, it's already right there. There's no kickback on it. That's one thing I like about the Pflueger reel. Besides, they also have an 8-to-1 gear ratio with the bearings, which is just a really smooth pole. So I just want to kind of let you know about that. And then the one-piece rod, you can feel the bottom a lot better when you're fishing. One thing I also like using is a real small tackle box bag, one that you can kind of put around your shoulder like this, and you can carry it through the woods. And when you get to where you are, you can just take it off and put it on the bank. And then you can put everything in here, you know, your little jig holders, your tape measures, whatever. It's just a real nice bag to have for real light. Folks, here's another little trick I like to use, especially when you're fishing the river and you've got a size limit. Like here in Wisconsin on the river that I fish, you have a 15-inch limit walleye. Get yourself one of these real handy, really small tape measures. This one is for 6 feet. And they're just so handy to keep in your tackle box when you got to measure that fish instead of that real big bulky ones. You get these real small ones. I picked this one up. It's called a Master Force. I get right at Menards. But it's nice. It's so handy to fit in your little bag that you use to keep when you're down by the river on the bank. It just goes in that side pocket so easy. So make sure you get one of those. Those are really handy to have when you're walleye fishing. And anybody who's done walleye fishing, you really don't want to keep a lot of fish unless you're going to mount them or get a replica made. You could do that as well. Anything that's usually over that 23 to 24 inch mark, they really don't taste that good. That 17 to 20 inch fish is the best tasting fish on our rivers that here in Peshtigo. And another thing I use a lot too, of course, is waders, because I'm not in a boat a lot. And I've experimented with this quite a bit. I've had some really thin waders, and early in the season, my feet freeze. They get really cold. So I invested about $150 pair of waders, where the Neon Supreme are a lot more milligrams in there. I think these are probably over 1,000 milligrams to keep your feet warm and your legs. Last year, I never got cold, and we had a very cold spring. But this year, I think you're going to see it a lot different. We're already going to see, for this first week of spring, up to 50-degree weather already. That's going to melt some of that snow, and it's going to open up that river and get us ready to go. Again, we don't use any live bait. It's just that jig. Put on the waders, dress warm, and we head down to the river, and you allow 1 walleye a day, 15 inches, and actually that's your bag limit. So legally you can't keep any more than 1 fish as far as your bag limit, which is in your freezer then. So we eat them as fast as we can catch them. So we're getting ready for the walleye season coming up here, probably in about 2 to 3 weeks. So this has been Rich for Cunningham Outdoors, getting ready for the walleye season. Well, everybody, don't forget, consider liking this video and subscribe to our channel. This has been Rich for Cunningham Outdoors, and get ready, the walleye season's upon us.
Smash the like button, turn on that bell, and subscribe to Cunningham Outdoors.